Krishna took an avatar, when Vishnu took an avatar as Krishna, did Krishna kill Karan? Did Krishna kill Dronacharya? Did Krishna kill all those Kauravas? No. And that is the biggest lesson from the Gita and from the Mahabharata. God is there to guide you. The divine is there to guide you. Whatever needs to be done, it has to be done by you. This is karma bhumi. And if you're waiting for that glory day to come, for that dream day to come, wherein God comes and he says, oh, a lot of jap, tap, sadhana you have done all these years, and now I bestow on you all the abundance and prosperity, then you're very sadly mistaken. Life is really running out. And I'm being very open, because somewhere to actually have a look in the mirror, we have to go through the fire path. We have to really get down to maybe hurt ourselves a little bit, but then growth would happen only from there, right? So the actual prayer should be, what should I do to get out of this situation or the scarcity I am? And that is actual prayer, because that prayer signifies responsibility. When the first four prayers are there, God, you do this, God will do it one day, God, faith. Everybody has faith on God. Even the beggar who is begging on the street, he has faith on God, that God is going to fill my stomach today. Right? Even an animal, any animal for that matter, the nature takes care of everybody, and nature is taking care of you as well, for us as well. The only thing is that we are not taking the responsibility. And that is a first step towards abundance. More than 90% people fail because they don't take responsibility. They are just so very over dependent on the concept and the perception of God. And that is where you see, and I'm telling you all, the best place to meditate, the best place to get ideas. Anybody, any guesses? Which is the best place to get ideas? Where would you go and meditate where you get the best of ideas? At your house, at the temple, where exactly? Or a particular place?
I think for me, it would just be in solitude.
Yeah, but where?
Wherever it is, wherever the space may be, because the space is only your physical surrounding.
Yeah.
For me,
yeah, but then I'm asking about the physical surrounding.
Okay, you're asking, okay. In that case, for me, honestly, do you want an upfront answer? Because it'll have nothing to call. All right. Most of my great ideas come in the bathroom.
Yes, for many, yes. Absolutely.
I mean, so I'm just saying.
But there is a still higher truth than that.
Right. Okay. You know what? I think the second thing that I would definitely like to say, personally speaking, again, is I think a lot of times, without realizing it, either when I'm just going to sleep or when I'm just waking up.
Yeah. So the alpha state kind of.
Yeah, for me personally, but I'm just gonna look into the group as well. Okay, Preeti says within yourself. Preeti and Vikram say within yourself. Radha says my own heart. Lotus says nature outside. Bhavna says northeast of your house, which would also be kind of where you keep your altar, right? And yes, of course, that is another place, but okay. Disha says under the tree. Rajesh says nature. Preeti says I go inside myself, to be honest. N writes bedtime. Samina says under a healthy tree. Asma says yes, bathroom. She's agreeing with me. Purnima says my house. Radha says sleeping. N says before sleeping. Disha says before sleeping. Preeti says subconscious mind, unconscious mind. And Rajesh says Brahma Muhurat time is the best. And again, Purnima, Ranju are saying when I go to sleep, when I go to bed. Jayashi says in a peaceful place. Vandana says while driving.
Okay, great. So I don't deny all the answers are correct, because every thing is individualistic, right? So everybody has their own experiences. But in my understanding of things, the best of ideas, if it might sound really weird, but the best of ideas would come in a graveyard.
Sorry, where?
In a graveyard.
In a graveyard. Oh,
in a graveyard.
Really? That is interesting.
Of course, nobody has kind of this thing that you go and meditate in a graveyard, and I'll tell you why.
Yes.
There are everybody who has so many ideas, right? In this room also, we have 106 people, and everybody has all those super duper ideas. right? But majority of these ideas, these strategies, these plannings, they don't see the light of the day. And we pass away with all these ideas, these brilliant ideas, which possibly could have changed our lives, and not just our lives, with us, so many lives. And we all pass away with that. So everybody dies with all these kind of ideas. And that is why there was one, I don't remember the name of the master, he said, the graveyard is the place where you find the best of ideas, because everybody dies with those ideas. They were not able to live with those ideas because of multiple reasons. And that is why graveyard is the place where you will find so many ideas. Now, we are not talking about or going into that zone, but what I'm trying to get you into, do you also want to pass away or go away from this planet with all those ideas into yourself? Or really you need to bring those ideas to light? You want those ideas to manifest, because everybody has brilliant strategies and ideas, but then just because we don't get a platform, we don't get an audience, we don't get probably things wherein things fall in place, or opportunities that we are able to do it, isn't it? So that is where taking responsibility is the prime thing, which I mentioned is the first step towards abundance. When you take responsibility, it is then that you have that power to change whatever is not working. When you say, God, you do this, God, you do this, God, you do this, then you are in that zone that you are just, okay, God, whatever you want, whenever you want, you do it. But really speaking, the conscious mind is saying, God, you do it. But is the subconscious or the unconscious surrendered to God? Sadly, the answer is no. We are not surrendered. And if we would have been surrendered, we would have been happy without even a single penny in the bank, right? But we are not surrendered. The conscious mind is saying, God, do it, God. So it's kind of the mind only trying to get into that particular zone. It is not coming from the inner subconscious. And that is where, if you see Arjuna so very beautifully in the Gita, when Arjuna was ready, the divine gave him the Upadesha of the Gitas. And it is then that he told that this is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. The divine guided him. And from so many years in advance, that to kill Karan, we would require Brahmastra. Arjun, go in the pursuit of Brahmastra. Because Arjuna asked, what should I do that if war happens, for me to win, for the Pandavas to win the war? So the right question is always, what should I do to come out of this scarcity? And it is here that so many kind of fumble at the first step itself, because they are just, God, do this, God, do this. God is ready to do it. But are you listening? That is the question. And just thinking that God is going to do miracles, we are living in that kind of a zone where we are thinking that God is going to do miracles. Ganpati came, now Navaratri will come, now Diwali will come. So these are the days we have our best bet or the best foot forward where God is going to do. But sadly, that particular thing never happens. So we need to get out of those misconceptions and false perceptions. So the first step starts with taking responsibility. Yes, ma'am.
Nice. Yeah, Veejay, very quickly, I know you've been saying a little bit of it, and in fact, before I ask you the question, Preeti is written in that it's like that book that tells you to act on your ideas and motivate yourself by writing your own obituary and becoming the person you would want spoken about at your funeral. There is a book on that. I did not know. This is very interesting. And of course, Veejay, what I wanted to ask you is, you've given us some examples as well. And there's this dependency on God, which is what you've said, that he will do it. Is that the only reason that people don't take responsibility? Is it the only one that matters, or
No,
are there
not,
others?
yeah, not really. And when I speak about dependency, everybody is dependent on God because it is his universe and he's created it. And so, but then it is about over dependency and blind dependency. It is not about understanding. See, at a lower consciousness, God is a concept. God is a perception. Oh, God is this, God is that, because we have been taken through all of this since childhood. But as the vibrations rise, as you get on in the higher consciousness, God is an experience, right? You need to experience that God within you. So there are four other reasons why people don't take responsibility. One being misconceptions about God, which we have already discussed. The second is denial. There are so many people who live in utter denial. And for all those people who are healers here or starting their healing journey, or even if you see in your surroundings, in your family, if you see that there is something wrong and you go and tell your family member that this is it, the very first thing he will do is deny. He'll say, no, no, I have not done this. It's not my mistake. And I come across, there was a couple of days back, I had a consult, and he was in a very bad condition, that person. And I told him, you have a lot of ancestral issues. And he immediately said, no, 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 there are no ancestral issues. I don't have any Pitru dosha in my horoscope. I don't have anything. We do the Shraddh properly. We have done this, we have done that. But I told him there are ancestral issues. Please look into it. And that is what is a very clear-cut signal, which I'm getting right now. So he was in complete denial. And as a result of it, things couldn't proceed forward. Probably he had a chance to have that resolved. I could have helped him, but then I had to stop there because he's in complete denial. I cannot proceed further. So the very first thing is denial, wherein people just deny that I have not done anything wrong in my past. I am just suffering because it's my bad luck, or the universe has not given me the opportunity, and things like that. So the very first thing is to accept that whatever is happening in my life, I am responsible. Now that is the second thing after all. And the third thing is there are people who are in escapism. So these are the people who are like vagabonds. They will move here, 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 here. They will try everything. Master of all and jack of none. So they will try this healing methodology, that healing methodology, that Z healing methodology, Y healing methodology. They will try everything and they will escape. Oh, this healing methodology did not work for him. Is your healing much more powerful? Everything is divine. Everything is divine. You go to any healer, if you have that in mind, and if that healer is doing good healing, there are so many healers who are doing a lot of good healings. Definitely, you will prosper or benefit from there. And then, when the time comes to get to the next healer, the universe would guide you. But then, at least get things from there and do not escape. So that is a third thing. And there are people. There is a term, which is called spiritual rigidity. Many people. Rigidity. There are many people who do not grow because of spiritual rigidity. They have those same theories in mind that right. I have to get up in the morning at 4 o'clock. I have to do this much sadhana, 2 hours sadhana, 2 hours this, 1 hour this, 2 hours this. And that's what I am going to do this. And it is only from this that things are going to help me. And then I'm going to do only this, only this. It's okay. You can continue doing whatever regular you're doing, but then if there is something new which comes, the old has to go, isn't it? So the spiritual rigidity is one more reason where people, they are not, you need to be really open, because Lakshmi exhibits the water element, and water has to flow. Where there is rigidity, Lakshmi cannot come. And of course, the last thing is ignorance. There are few people in this zone who are actually really very open and they really want to get out of their woes, but then they are not getting a proper path. So these are the people who are kind of ignorant people who are actually looking for things to happen, but then they don't want to escape, they don't deny, they are in full acceptance, but then things are not happening because they are ignorant. Now, which, if at all you feel that you are not responsible, so which of these categories do you fit in? And that is where you need to start your work to become more responsible. Either it is denial, or it is ignorance, or it is your rigidity, or it is your escapism, or it is your over dependence or misconceptions about God, that God is going to do it. Please understand that you only have to do it. So I'll just share one real life thing which happened in a session recently. There was a person who had come to me and used to do a lot of sadhana, upasana of Goddess Lakshmi every day, lot of sadhana, but things were not moving in his work. And when he came, we got him into a session wherein he got to know, and of course he had, when he got into asking the right questions, what is it that I need to heal, or kind of what is it that I need to know to come out of this situation, to help me come out of this situation. And it is then that he was kind of guided, that that thought came to him, that insight came to him, that many years back, he had actually cheated a business person. And because he had cheated that business person, that particular person was carrying that hurt or a grudge and a kind of a curse, not exactly a curse, but then that thing was so very bad for that entrepreneur, for that business associate, that he lost a lot of things in that. And it took him a lot of time to come back to that state of it. So when he got into that session, he came to know, he saw that that particular incident has happened through him. And he was responsible for the hurt, for the grudge, for all the losses that had happened to that person. And that was one of the most primary cause for his not being able to get to the prosperity or get that much prosperous as he wanted. And after he finished his sessions, we took him into the processes, he finished his sessions, and things started happening for him. And at that time, I channeled Goddess Lakshmi, and I asked her after the session as to if this was the case, why you did not reveal this to him. He's doing so much upasana and so much sadhana. Why did you take so long for this thing to reveal to him? And the goddess said, smiling, the goddess told me, he was not ready. He was into that zone that I am going to do it, I am going to do it, I am going to do it. But when he came to you, he took responsibility that he has to do it. And when he took the responsibility that he has to do it, I showed him what he had done. And once you heal, he started healing. He will now start healing these things, and then things will come back to normal. So that is what it is. When you get into asking the right questions, this is a magnetic universe. When you get into asking the right questions, you get the right answers. You just having, and these are parrot prayers. In our sessions, we call it parrot prayers. You just keep on saying, God, give me this, God, give me this, God, give me this. And it really hardly happens, isn't it? Just keep hands on your heart and you get to know it hardly happens, isn't it? So asking the right questions is important, and being open to receive those answers and working on that is important. Probably at this stage, if you close your eyes and ask as to what is it that I should do, maybe an insight comes into you that there are some relationship issues, there are some ancestral issues, there is some N issue or a Y issue or whatever it is, or you need to go to this healer who can help you out in this case. It can be anybody, or you need to connect with this person who can aid you out of this. The answers would come. But what is happening is that we want those readings, but we are not actually open for answers.
Right. We only want, Veejay, I have this question in mind. I'm only going to focus on the answer that I want to listen
to.
I am not going to listen to the 10 other things being said that will make sense to me. I only want that. And I think that's the loop that we get stuck in, right, Veejay?
Exactly. And you see, we have those preconceived notions in our head that money has to come this way. We have made all those plans in our head, isn't it? Money has to come this way. This has to come. I need to have a house here. I need to have this kind of a life further on. I need my children to be so and so, so and so, so and so. All those things have been planned in our mind, but life is actually totally different from whatever we have planned, isn't it? Life is what we have brought in the life contract when we had come before coming to this place, whatever we had gone through. But now with the conscious mind, in that dreamy world, we are making up things. And what is happening is that those things are being broken. If 15 days, 20 days, things are not happening to the extent what we want to happen, we have failed expectations. And these failed expectations create those negative energies into our mind, and things don't happen, as simple as that. And then we go on the whole Brahmanda seeking for answers. What is there? Why things are not happening? But then actually it is that thing.